What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. My name's Taylor. I'm the owner of Taylor Gems and Jewelry, and I cut gems for a living. Today I am faceting a gorgeous bicolor Sri Lankan sapphire. This is one of my most highly requested gem types, and I am so excited to see how this one turns out. Let's get started. Before I start faceting, I want to quickly get a starting weight for this gem so I can calculate yield at the end. 0.77 carats. Small, but I can work with that. I'll be hoping for maybe a 0.3 if I'm really lucky out of this. Next, I am headed over to the faceting station. This is my Ultratech V5 machine that I do all of my cutting on. Absolutely love it. This is my pattern book. I've actually already picked out the pattern that I think I'm going to use for this piece. I love this. It always turns out great, and it's very good at maximizing thin stones, which is what I'm working with right now. So I'm going to start by grabbing probably my 600 grit diamond lap, putting it on the machine and flattening a side on my stone to dop on and preforming it a bit. That shaped up perfectly, and I'm seeing even cooler colors inside there. You see those blue stripes? It's gonna have a blue tip, and then hopefully I'm gonna keep those two blue stripes in there. This is already looking like such a gorgeous piece. Next, I'm gonna head over to my dop station and get this guy attached to a dop so I can start cutting. I feel like I've got this dopped as evenly as it's gonna get, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the machine and start faceting. Step one is going to be cutting the girdle or the sides of the stone to set the shape. So I'm gonna flip my machine to clockwise, go ahead and make sure I'm on the girdle angles, and start faceting. Girdle is done, and that shape is looking great. Next, I'm going to go ahead and cut the pavilion or the bottom facets of this stone. I'm still going to use my 600 grit diamond lap, and I'm going to switch this back to counterclockwise. I'm going to go ahead and move the sticky note on here too, and get to cutting. I'm just going to come back and show you after this step is all done, because I don't feel like you guys need to watch time lapses of every single thing I do, so be right back. The pavilion facets are cut, and this is looking great. I was able to get them to come all the way to the bottom of the stone, which I really didn't think I'd be able to manage with such a thin piece of rough. And I left just enough room to add a few crown facets so that I can fully maximize this stone. I'm very excited with how it's turning out. Next, I'm going to pre-polish using 3000 grit diamond paste on a bat lap. Since that process is a bit different than the initial cutting, I will show a time lapse of how that's done. Pre-polish is done, and the colors are looking prettier with every step. This is such a cool gem. Next, I'm going to polish. I'm going to switch to my polishing bat lap and use a 60,000 grit diamond paste. This one's a little worn off, but it is 60,000. I like to do my pre-polishing counterclockwise and then switch to clockwise for polishing. I don't quite know the reasoning behind this, but I feel like it gives me a better, easier, and quicker finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and that will be it for this side of the gem. This side is all polished up. It's time to take it off the machine, flip it over to a new dop, and then cut the crown or the top of the stone. Got this guy flipped, and I have just barely enough room to cut a crown on it, hopefully at this point. So I will stick that back in my machine and see what's next. Got two crown angles, it looks like 43 and 21. It's just going to be a simple two-step crown, but this pattern turns out shockingly beautiful for how simple it is. So I'm going to go through the same series of laps with this gem. I'm going to start with my 600 grit diamond lap, then pre-polish with my 3000 grit bat lap, and finish it with my 60,000 grit bat lap. I'll come back and show you how I cut the table, but until then I'm just going to show the result of each of those steps. So I forgot to record after doing the rough cuts with 600 grit, but I just finished pre-polishing with 3000 and wanted to show you guys how it was looking. There was literally just enough room to squeeze some crown facets on here. So next up, I'm gonna polish it, and I'll be back to show you guys how I cut the table. Oh, you can already see it starting to light up inside. This is gonna be so cool. The crown of this gem is all polished, and it's time to finish it up by cutting the table. So I'm gonna leave that over there. And to cut the table, I need to be at a 90-degree angle. So I set my machine to 45 and then use this 90-degree tabling adapter to get it the rest of the way to 90. This gem is done. The table is cut and polished, and it's finally time to take it off this dop and see how it actually turned out. This stone is tiny. I haven't looked at it under like real light yet, but I want to see how much it weighs. 0.25. Okay, that's perfect. Realistically, that's what I expected. I know I said 0.3, but that definitely makes sense. Let's take a closer look at this gem. Alright you guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me facet this tiny sapphire. I sure enjoyed cutting it, and I am so happy with how the colors turned out, especially out in the sunlight. That is just wild. If you liked this video, you'll probably love the rest of my content. I post new videos every Friday and most Tuesdays, if I'm able to. If you'd like to shop from any of my available gems or jewelry, they will be available on my website, also linked in the description below. And if you'd like to have me custom make anything for you, like cut a gem from my collection or set any of my loose gems into jewelry, feel free to reach out at my business email, which I'll also have linked below. If you'd like to keep up on socials, also in the description. And that should about do it. If you guys want to see any different kinds of videos or request any specific gems that you want to see me cut, feel free to drop a comment and let me know. I am always looking for new video ideas, and I am planning a full tutorial series, how to facet a gem. It'll be like 6 parts. I'm working on it, trust me. It'll be very worth the wait. But in the meantime, I'd love to know what else you guys want to see. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.